Hello, Leigh here. Welcome to Nothing to Wear. Now today I have a very exciting guest. I'm a little bit scared. I'm a little bit nervous. It's the one and only Grace Lamb. So if you listen to Mid by Holly Wainwright, you might have heard her before. She is iconic. She is incredibly honest and she has the most incredible career story to tell. So join me for this chat with Grace. We talk about pretty much everything from her career to what she thinks about trends, how she finds the best stuff thrifting, and everything in between.
You have to do it. You live for fashion.
Okay, Grace, firstly, thank you for joining me. I'm excited. I'm a little bit scared. I loved your episodes of Mid that you did with Holly. So welcome to Nothing to Wear. And before we get into the topic, I ask guests a few questions. The first of which is, can you describe your own style in 3 words?
Definitely colorful, edgy, and experimental. So that's me.
That's almost opposite of everything I am. Maybe I'm a bit experimental, but I love that. Okay, the theory that we wear 10% of our wardrobe 90% of the time. So the stuff we reach for more than the other stuff. What's in your 10%?
Oh, athletic wear. I don't do sportswear leggings. I don't do much. I have very limited amount because I'm not a sporty person. Of course, when I go to the gym, I do have to wear those. When I moved from Hong Kong to Australia 5 years ago, I started living in Perth first and then moved to Melbourne recently. I've never seen so many bloody Lululemon leggings in my life in one place.
Yes.
And I thought, oh my God, if I can have a UK pound for every pair of leggings I see every day, every week, I'll be like a billionaire.
Yeah.
I just don't know what it is. They love wearing leisure wear out. 90% of my stuff, I would say I am not picky about buying one item, a lot. I have a lot of mix of everything. So that's how I like to extend my wardrobe.
And do you often, reach for those things and try mix and match? Or if you're in a rush, do you just grab the stuff you love, or you really try and make sure you wear everything?
I like to wear everything because I like to create a character of myself every day if I can be bothered that day. It just gives me an idea, or I plan my outfit the night before.
Yes.
Or it depends on the events,
I was going to ask you that. Oh gosh, that's goals. I mean, I have a lot of clothes and I think I wear maybe 30%, but sometimes I'm just like, the leggings, I'm sorry. All right, we're going to start with a bit of your career because that really illustrates, what you're doing here on this podcast. Your time at Vogue China. I'd love to hear about that. Assisting the editor-in-chief of British Vogue, no big deal. So can you talk to us about that era of your career?
So I'm from Hong Kong originally, and I went to UK boarding school when I was quite young. So then I ended up living in UK most of my life, actually. And I went to Central St. Martin's and I did graphic design into fashion. So I did a degree there. And because it was such a well-known, art school, I get a lot of famous speakers to come. And then during my second year of St. Martin's, I met Terry Jones, who was the founder of the Street Bible magazine, ID magazine.
Yes.
And being a really naive little girl, I was like, oh, I'm going to have my own magazine one day. You watch, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, yeah, we'll see about that. And he liked how I dressed. And he said to me, oh, do you want to become a stylist? Because you're very stylish.
And how did you dress back then? Can you describe it?
Oh, kind of edgy, very London grungy, but kind of a chic grungy. My mother is colorblind. But she is the most fierce dresser I've ever met. Because can you imagine being colorblind and you dress so colorful every day?
Yes.
Since I was young, with all my sisters, we idolize her in the way she dressed, and she has great taste.
Wow.
My dad is opposite. My dad has no taste. So
Mine
he
too.
played well.
That's fascinating. How did she put her outfits together? Just seeing the colors differently, but is that why you love bright colors and clashing colors?
I think your eyes get trained. If you have a stylish mother, your eyes get trained from a young age to know what goes with what. Also impressed about her because when she sees red or green or other colors, she sees gray or brown or just completely opposite tone.
Wow.
But somehow she managed, her favorite brand is Easy Miyake, all these really colorful pattern and just bright colors. It's crazy.
That's so cool.
Really crazy.
Okay, well, you're influenced by her. He's seen you and gone, you're stylish. Do you want to be a stylist? And so was your answer yes?
I don't know what it was. I asked him, what is a stylist? And he was, come and intern for us. So I was like, okay. So I did internship when I was in my second year at St. Martin's, and then met Edward Enningful, who was the fashion director at large. And I mean, I knew it was a big deal. And then, I started out as an editorial assistant after I left Martin's. I did all the shitty jobs. I don't know how many photocopy things I did.
Yeah, we've all been there. I started as editorial assistant at a magazine.
Yep. And then when Edward was looking for a full-time assistant, I got put forward, went for an interview, and then got the job immediately, let's say on a Monday. Thursday, he flew me to Milan and we did the Jill Sander fashion show.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was the start of the rest of your life. Then you did a decade as senior fashion style editor at Vogue China. So what was that like?
Because I consider myself as a very Londoner, and how I was trained under Edward Enninful is very different from working in Asia. And I've actually never worked in Asia in my life. I thought I was going to die in London, marry a Brit, and now, I have an Italian-Australian fashion beauty photographer, who's amazing. So it was quite an eye-opening experience for me because I've never worked in Asia. And how they do fashion shoots over there is so different back in 2005. So I went from living in London, going straight to Shanghai because that was our head office at the beginning. And I've never even been to China at that point, and I was a little bit worried because I have no idea what it takes to live there, and I didn't know anyone.
And so you were there for 10 years?
Yes.
Wow. Okay,
yes.
So that was obviously, you're well and truly on the new course of, not so new now, but fashion, and that wasn't what you were set out to do. So you've done London, China, and you're in Australia, I'm assuming, for family and love?
Yes and yes.
Yes,
because
and yes.
we left Hong Kong because of the social unrest, and then we left before anyone else was leaving Hong Kong, and people didn't understand why we wanted to leave. And then we arrived in Perth with Jason from Perth, and lived there for 30 years. So when I suggested to move back because we have a property there, and then he said, I don't want to live in Perth. And I said to him, because we have a child.
Yes.
I said to him, it's not really about you anymore. It's about the whole family.
Yeah.
He was okay, let's go. And then a month later, COVID hit Hong Kong and China. So we were very blessed because I'm germophobic. I wouldn't have survived.
No, yeah. So then you've been in Perth for a little bit, and now you've recently moved to Melbourne. So gosh, you've been kind of everywhere. What's your observation, I guess? Let's start with, Asian fashion culture for women and I guess Western fashion culture. And then I want to ask you, I guess, the difference between sort of London and Australia, given that that's both sort of Western. But what's the observations you notice between Asian fashion culture and Western fashion culture?
I think Asian, we talk about women generally, we are a lot more into like labels, and we sometimes we're more youthful the way we style. I mean, you can be walking in Hong Kong, the street, or mainland China, you can see someone from the back, very, very stylish, and you go past them and they could be 65, and
love that.
And I think they are more up for challenging themselves in the way they dress, and they don't care really what people think. Of course, there are a lot of people that are very conservative as well, but people who love fashion in general, I think the majority of people, especially in Hong Kong, they are very into fashion. It doesn't matter whether they get them fashion from the local market stores or like Zara or H&M, they love playing with fashion, which I find is a bit more different in the Western world. I think Western women, we'll talk about French women, are very sophisticated.
Yes.
They know how to style themselves, that they're very, very curated, but in such a effortless way.
Yes.
Aside from all the Lululemon leggings and things we were talking about, I think in general, Western women are a little bit more reserved in the way they dress. We're not talking about fashion people who go to Fashion Week, because that's like a minority.
Different, yeah. But I think the Lululemon, the active wear when we're not at the gym, that's mostly an Aussie thing, right? Because, when I travel to Paris, my friends that live there say you cannot wear your active wear unless you're going directly to the gym and back. So that's quite Australian.
To be honest, I feel like athletic wear should only be in two places: the gym and your dirty laundry basket.
I love that. And I might not agree, only because I love my leggings to run around and chase my 5-year-old. But I get it. I always feel better about myself and my outfit that day if I've gotten out of the leggings and actually styled the outfit, even if it's super casual. That's super interesting. Okay, so having worked with fashion and in the fashion industry with clients all around the world, please tell me that there's universal problems that we face when we're deciding what to wear. Is there kind of a running theme that you've noticed throughout your career of women coming to you saying help, and what are those problems?
I think women in general, and a lot of midlife women, like, I'm 52 and I do a lot of styling for midlife women who's going through perimenopause. They love staying in the safe lanes and they're unwilling to change. So sometimes I'll get women who contact me, and those are the ones who are a bit more adventurous already. But still, when I meet them, they're, I'm not sure about this, I'm not sure about that. So it takes a lot of convincing for them to change their style or introducing a new way to dress. So I think the mindset is the most challenging. It's not even about whether to get them to try new things is a challenge, that's for sure.
So mindset makes sense because it all sort of starts there, doesn't it?
Yeah. And also going back to a wardrobe, I think the problem with most people is they stuff their wardrobe so much that you can't even see what you have.
Have you been to my house lately? You should see mine. Hence why I grabbed my 10% because the rest of it's too messy and I can't see it. Yeah.
Like to me, I honestly feel you have to hang everything so you can see.
Yeah.
And I mean, I understand that, wardrobes are limited. I mean, who's got like a 5,000 square feet house to only put your wardrobe in,
Yeah.
You just be very organized in your wardrobe so you can see.
Yes. And does that include, kind of quite frequent clear outs and, rotating with summer and winter if you can't fit it all in one spot and just being able to see the stuff you do love?
Oh, 100%. What you can't see, you're not going to wear.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And I have a one in, one out system. When I buy something new or trying to get rid of something old, anything that's more than 2 years I haven't touched, it's got to go.
Wow. Oh my God. You would die if you came to my house. I need that, but I just am not that person. And at 43, I don't think I ever will be. But that's so true.
I love to come to your house and clean up.
Oh, I think you would. I'll send you some photos offline. But that's interesting. I think it is so much of a mindset thing because we tell ourselves, I can't wear that, or people will judge me, or I'm too old for that, or that work doesn't suit me. But it's as soon as you tell yourself you can't, well, of course you can't.
No, I think honestly you need to go shopping or do some styling session with people who are your cheerleaders.
Yes.
Don't ask anybody who's going to go, like your kids, mom, you look shit or whatever. And stuff.
But I feel like, and please take this as a compliment, that's why I kind of love you, is your raw honesty. And I think that, yes, it's nice to have someone to build up your confidence, but you also want the truth, right?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think I'm quite a hardcore person, so I take a lot of criticism. But I know a lot of women can't, especially midlife, because we're very vulnerable. Nothing's working in our body.
Yeah,
so
we don't know who we are anymore. This is a new person.
And then you have very low self-esteem. So the last thing you need is someone go, you know what, you look like shit.
Yeah.
Fucking get on with it, right?
Yes. So it's more about suggesting alternatives, I guess.
Yes. I actually recently changed my Instagram handle to, I used to label myself as a fashion director or fashion stylist. So now my new title I gave myself is fashion style enhancer, because I realized a lot of women do not like big changes. If you want to wear your ugly Crocs, which is fine, I will just tweak everything. I will enhance your look.
Enhance is great. Better. Yeah, and I guess that way they still keep an element of their personal style, which is probably in there somewhere, but it's more about, modernizing, enhancing. I like that. I have friends that, they might be lawyers or, have really kind of serious jobs that aren't around what they wear, but they don't have the confidence, or they just think it's too hard. Like they have to have this humongous change, buy a whole new wardrobe, and that's just in the too hard basket. What do we do when we feel uncertain? We don't want to buy a whole new wardrobe. What do we do?
Okay, first of all, I highly recommend to do a clothing swap with your friends and have a party. Yes. Because you don't know what each other have, or sometimes you look at your friends and I really like their top or skirt, and you borrow it.
Yes.
So I think that's number one. Number two, if you want to change your style and you don't know where the fuck to start, just start with something small. I have over 100, 200 pair of socks, and they're mostly from Japan.
Wow.
If you want to bring in colors to your outfit, start something small, a jewelry or bag or socks. Because there's something small you can just take off.
Yes.
Rather than going bright pink top, bright red top. It's not going to fly. Or like a fun bag or earrings, jewelry. I mean, I'm a jewelry girl, so I love jewelry, and it's just easy. Okay. It's so easy. So we'll start with those accessories first. That's for sure.
Okay. You touched on sort of style and shape. I wanted to ask a bit more about that, because when people say they want to get more confident with putting outfits together, I always immediately think color, but I'm not particularly a color person. So how can we kind of get more confident or have more unique style I guess, with colour, but also are shapes and proportions a way to get more personal style if you're not going to be wearing head to toe orange or pink or yellow?
I think the key thing is to get a visual idea of what kind of person you want to be that day. So for me, every day I say to myself, what kind of story do I want to tell today? Am I the oversized outfit Grace, or am I the don't fuck with me Grace today? So which means I'm going to be more hardcore the way I dress and more like street style.
Yes.
Or am I going to be feminine Grace, which is a bit more girly? Well, when you create a look for yourself, definitely think of a story that you want to tell today.
Okay.
Or you go to online and find some style icon that you like and just take small elements from them and see whether you can apply it on yourself.
Yeah.
First, I think you need to practice at home and deck out the outfit that you don't normally dare to wear. Just right at home.
Yes.
See what other people think, and can you tweak it? Once you get used to it, then you go outside the door and you start to the real world. And also, when you try something new, you have to own it and not be very shy about it. Otherwise, you just go back to your old ways.
Do you have any thrifting tips? What do we look for? Where do we go?
It's quite overwhelming, even for someone like me, who's I've done thrift shopping, for all my adult life. Because where I used to live in Notting Hill, we have Portobello Road Market every single weekend. And before I moved back to Asia, most of my wardrobes are vintage or secondhand or just really like bloody cool stuff. But Chinese people are very superstitious. So when I tell my mom that I buy secondhand clothes, she freaks out. Who died in it?
Oh my God, I love that. Well, it's true. I mean, there are lots of different barriers to it for some people. They just find it too hard, too overwhelming. They like going to the Westfield and seeing just all the pink pants in all the sizes. But I just think there's such a joy. But it is a skill, or you definitely need time.
Oh, you can't go into any thrift shop and be rushing because it takes so long. I can easily spend, when I go to New York or go back to London or Paris, I can easily spend in one shop like 3 hours.
Me too. I've made the mistake of going in thinking I wanted to find a particular item, but you kind of have to let the gold find you, right? Like you have to just have an open mind.
100%. And you need to try everything. You can't just look at something and just go put it back, which a lot of us do. I think what you need to do is if you are looking for a particular item, you go to that section and you pick out something, maybe 5 things that you would wear.
Yep.
3 things is not you at all. Just to try. You don't have to buy, just try. And see. So once you start practicing that for every single top, pants, skirt, dress, jacket, you will start have a rhythm of how to shop.
That is such a good tip because I guess if you're going to the regular retail stores, often the same silhouettes are in every store. But if you go to a thrift shop, it's a great way to just try stuff on because there's so much variety. I'd love to get your personal and professional opinion on trends because I think the internet and the world is going faster than ever before and everything's a trend. And I like a trend. I'd say I'm a middle adopter, but I also don't really follow them, if that makes sense. I'll wear something old that I don't care is not in fashion because I feel good in it. What are your thoughts on trends?
I am not a trend follower, and that question is kind of frustrating for me because, who's like 5'11", who looks like, Gigi Hadid every day, right?
Yeah.
Most of us are not.
Yeah.
So trends only look good in like if you're like 5'11", above 5'9", if you're Kate Moss, all that stuff. So for real people like us, I don't like to tell my clients, oh, you need to follow this trend and that trend because I don't either. And I feel like I would take elements of the current trend and say, do you like this or not? Let's say like for winter this season, like the deep burgundy brown is in. I don't think I have anything like that because I just think that's just a dowdy color.
Wow.
So I would not buy anything. However, I did steal my son's Uniqlo jumper last week. And it's brown and it looked great on me,
Yes, yeah.
So,
and people could do the version of that by going thrifting and maybe looking for an element, but not, having to invest in a whole new, brand new thing from the stores.
Exactly. And with trends, I feel like nowadays it's always repeating, regurgitating, like, back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. So nothing is really new.
Yes.
So I don't think you can put a time cap on what you must buy this season or the trend is this and that. So I would suggest for women to buy things that is more like a capsule collection. You can exchange it with different seasons and you can, wear one item in 3 ways. That's more practical and money saving.
All right, before we do bougie and budget, can you tell us some of your affordable brands right now that you think everyone should know about? You know, they can be Australian, international.
Yes, I mean, since I'm a newbie in Melbourne, I like to support local talents. So I'm going to introduce my brands of Melbourne. Loaf, Lowf, is a super cool unisex, which I love. Quality streetwear. And they're very eco-conscious, certified organic material, recycled material. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
So
I've never heard of them. I'm going to need to check them out.
And then another great brand, I love this brand as well, is called the Best Jumpers.
Oh.
So they're local brand, designed in Melbourne and made in Melbourne by the co-founder Dylan Best, who's half honky from Hong Kong.
Right, yeah.
So, you know, my people. So I bought this amazing like wool double-breasted suit jacket, and I've been wearing it to death. My son is like, "Are you wearing that again?" I'm like, "Yes, because I look fucking cool." You know?
Yes, I love it. And that's the point of our wardrobe, right? We're meant to be wearing things more than a few times. Are they your bougies? Are they
Yes.
your... Yeah, okay. I'm going to give you my bougie, which isn't that bougie, but I'm trying to keep it realistic for my bank account. I just bought, because I have to admit, I love the look of sneakers, but I just don't have much of an ankle. That's why I hate winter shoes. They're just hard and I'm lazy. And I love my Onitsuka Tigers from a few years ago. So I bought the new Mexico 66 slip-on. So they just look like a sneaker, but you don't have to sit down or bend down and do up your laces. And I'm too creaky and sore and old to do up my laces. They are the most comfortable shoes I've ever bought. You can get a fabric kind of version, like a kind of canvas, or that might not be warm enough for Melbourne. They're $160, or you can get the sort of suede leather traditional Onitsuka Tiger for $230 I paid. And I thought, oh, will I wear them enough? And they're the only things I'm wearing in winter because I'm too lazy. So they're my bougie. They're worth it.
Do you wear socks with them?
Depends on, I mean, I'm trying to move past being the ankle sock girl, but I just don't have ankles. So then if I wear the thicker kind of cool crew sock, I don't know, it doesn't look great. I normally wear like quite a long barrel jean that'll be cuffed up a little bit, but still you won't see my ankle, or like a really wide leg jean. I got some Free People wide leg jeans recently that are like almost like tents. They're so huge. So you can't even really see the shoes, but I'm very comfortable. What's your budget?
Oh, before I forget, I want to
yes.
give you one more.
Oh, yes,
bougie.
please. The more, the better.
Yes, because a lot of my clients are actually quite lazy to go shopping.
Yeah. Yeah.
So something like prefer online shopping.
Yeah,
and this
that's
is a
me, to
great
be
site.
honest.
So do you know thefloor.com?
No. Here we go.
FLOORR.
Okay. No, but I'm going on there right now.
Yes. So they it's founded by a very good friend of mine who's a kick-ass woman,
Yes.
Spanish, Lupe Porter.
Yes.
And she was the head of customer service and shopping for Net-a-Porter and Mr. Porter for over 15 years.
Wow.
So this is like advanced technology that we're talking about. So I am on it as well as a stylist curate. So the stylist can go on and sign up and curate a mood board just for the client. So if you come to me and say, hey, I want to do this and that. So what they do is they source, it's not like it's multi-brand. They even have Net-a-Porter,
Wow.
My Teresa, Prada, Shopbop, everything on this website.
But then the client can then purchase from your edit.
Exact from a mood board.
So
Is
it's
that
like
amazing?
a Pinterest, but for direct shopping. That's so clever.
Very clever. And then she's won so many awards. So my latest purchase is a Jacquemus little mini bag. Bright orange, Le Bambino. It is so cute. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, I think it was about $600.
Oh, but that's good for that brand.
That's on sale.
Okay, so there's sale items within this app.
Yes.
Oh,
So,
what have you done to me? This is bad news, but very good news.
I know.
What's your budget?
I mean, where do I start? You know,
I love it. The more, the better.
I mixed high and low throughout my whole life because I was well trained by my mother. Muji. How much do we love Muji?
I love Muji, but I normally just go and buy the little trinkets for my beauty stuff and like the cool chic lint rollers. Don't think I've ever looked at their fashion.
What?
No, I know.
Well, oh my goodness. So because Melbourne is so damn cold, I
Yes.
actually don't have enough jumpers. So of course, actually, you know what? Muji was the biggest pull for me to convince my 11-year-old son to move to Melbourne. From
I
Perth.
love that. What
Because
a cool
he's
guy.
a huge fanatic about stationery. So I'm like, oh
Yes,
my God.
the
Anyway,
pens. Yes.
focus, Grace. Muji socks. As I said, socks is very cool. Ranges from $2 to $10. So if you want to start your sock journey, go to Muji, they have loads of plain cool colors, like
Okay.
plain, like bright colors. Very cheap, $2 to 10. I think they have on sale right now.
Oh gosh.
And I bought
Okay.
like a really thick wool jumper for $99.
Oh,
But it's
wow.
very warm and it will last forever.
Yeah, the
because it's
quality is
wool-made.
phenomenal, isn't it? Everything they do is so impeccable in terms of quality.
Yeah, if you want to go to more buy more soft, Happy Socks, always good. So it's a
Okay.
Swedish company, $90 per pair. If you do buy a bundle, it's $69.
Okay.
Gorman does a lot of like fun socks, really cute,
Okay.
$9 to $15.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to
Right.
get into socks. You've inspired me. Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
And also Paire, the brand that makes underwear.
Oh,
tracksuit.
yes.
The reason I know about them because I came off of Christmas and I saw this, and then they had this underwear that is very see-through and is perfect for travel. You just wash them and you hair dry them.
Oh, wow.
Amazing. I bought like, I don't know, and they come in little like lipstick tube, which is so cute.
Oh, that's so clever.
$15 to 36. A bundle is 47. They're on sale right now, so go and check them out.
Oh, my gosh. You are in the right job,
and
my friend.
so those are like my go-to, and also obviously op shop. I love op shops.
Yeah, that's it. If you're lucky enough to live near one, and thankfully more and more online platforms, not just that kind of high end, but we're kind of getting a bit of everything everywhere. I'll quickly give you my budget. My favorite thing for this winter is kind of cool, chunky, really big scarves. I think it's the best winter update. I mean, depending where you live, but even if you've got your old trench on over your Lululemons, you'll hate that. But you're running to pick up, chucking on just a really big scarf just looks kind of cool. It's, remember that photo of Lenny Kravitz from a decade ago?
I was going to say Lenny Kravitz.
He was basically wearing a king-size knitted blanket, but they're everywhere and they're really affordable. My one that I love at the moment is the Uniqlo JW Anderson Heat Tech. It comes in a grey, a brown or a navy. That's a limited edition though, but they've got some really big kind of great chunky ones. I'm sure Muji probably has a beautiful chunky knit. They're kind of everywhere. They're affordable and you just chuck it on. And because most people see you from here up, they think, oh, she's put in some effort, and they're not noticing the leggings.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think chunky is the way forward.
Yes, yeah. Grace, you're a legend. You weren't anywhere near as scary as I thought you might be. I love chatting to you, and I'm going to keep you posted on my sock journey.
Don't let the resting bitch face fool you people.
I love it. No,
Right. Until you piss me off.
you're wonderful. I can't wait to have you back. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Go shopping, people.
Thank you. I love it.